right. Let's see. What time is it? It's just after 7 in the morning. Friday, August 14th. Funny motorcycle. It's interesting. All right, let's see what's going on in the world here. Let's look at Twitter. We never look at Twitter. Chelsea says, after 4 White Claws, I kind of understand reply guys. Reply guys, I guess, are... I'm not sure I totally understand it, but I think it's, you know, guys that are reply to women online and trying to, I don't know, get something going maybe. Let's see. Kim Tran says, on this day 2 years ago, I received my PhD, and I'm here to tell you, you don't need one. Does anybody, I mean, unless you're an attorney or a doctor, do you really need a college degree? Do you even really need a business degree? I think, I mean, it might help to know some basic accounting and right, and maybe at a certain level, at top level deal making, to know law and stuff. But you know, that's what attorneys are for. I think you're better off just learning the business inside and out, you know. Oil exploration, fracking, donut, you know, fire plug manufacturing, whatever it is. Just get into the business and learn as much as you can about it. And then you know it inside and out. What do you need all these degrees for? I need to know accounting. Do you really need to know accounting? I guess it helps to understand it, right? I mean, the basics, but you can read a book. You can take a course. You can watch a video. And then you have accountants that work for you. They do that stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Paige Spiranak, the golfer. Is she a model too? I mean, she's model looking, but is she an actual? I don't know. She says, I mean the rules of golf suck, but pretty much sure we all know touching the sand is a big no-no. So she's referring to. This guy was I think he was one up. I think he was leading by 1 going into the final hole of the U.S. Amateur. And he hit his tee shot or his approach shot, one or the other, into a bunker. Okay. This is at, where was this played at? Oh, Bandon Dunes in Oregon. So his caddy goes into the bunker to test the sand. And I mean, which you're not supposed to do. You can't do that. So he's winning the tournament on the final hole, and he gets a penalty for his caddy. It's called testing the sand or testing conditions. And that's exactly what he did. Like he goes in, he leans down and pats the sand like to test its moisture and conditions. He's the caddy. You can't do that. I don't think you can do that as the golfer, right? You can't even ground your club in the sand. And he ends up losing the tournament. Poor guy. So Paige is saying pretty much we all know that testing the sand or touching the sand is a big no-no. Yeah. I think most golfers know that. You're not supposed to touch the sand. You can stand in it, you just can't touch it. That's why they teach you to kind of get to know the sand by walking, as the golfer. But the caddy can't do that. But as the golfer, as you shift your feet, shift your feet back and forth as you settle into you're also kind of testing the consistency, right? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the rules. Well, let me be clear. I don't know. I'm not a big rules hound. Just your basic public golfer. But that was tragedy, man. U.S. Amateur, people don't realize the prestige of the U.S. Amateur. It's a big deal in golf. Golfers know. It's a big deal to win the U.S. Amateur. Tiger won the U.S. Amateur, I think, twice before he turned pro. All right, we're just going through Twitter. We're having fun. It's Friday. All right, we're just going to try to keep it as light as possible. I'm not going to get into... I will say this, though. Because I can't help myself. So I've got a mask on. I'm just walking around, and this came up last night at dinner. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, he walks around with his mask on," and the rest of the group was just appalled at this. Which I get it, it's the risk of, but not necessarily on this street, but over like on a couple of these other streets. There's a lot of joggers, and they just jog by that. They jog by you, making no attempt to separate themselves on the sidewalk. And I'm up again. I guess I could go up on someone's lawn. But anyway, they're jogging. When you're jogging, or I don't know about you, but I'm like, you're breathing. I just don't want somebody jogging by me, breathing in my face. It's no big deal. I mean, I grew up playing hockey. I get it. I mean, I'm not opposed to them jogging or even jogging by me. But I don't want somebody that may not know that they're sick, that they have a virus breathing on me that hard. When I could just put this up easily and give myself some protection, So I understand it's paranoid, but I also have blood. You don't want to hear all my. Let's take a look at some of the home prices. So look at this, man. $750,000. Now that must be a duplex. Is it a duplex? No, that's amazing in this neighborhood. what they're selling for. That's a lot. That must be a stunning. Because look, we'll give you an idea. Here's, you know, just some of the prices. $314. This is Columbus, Ohio, of course, in case you're just tuning in. See what I mean? The prices are more, but here you go. $675. That just seems high to me. Gutted rehab in 2017. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Oh, and then a studio apartment out back. So, okay, Airbnb, I got it. $450,000 for, as part of a development. $250,000. For Ohio, that's high. I mean, I'm not saying it's high for the value of the house. I'm just saying in relation to, see, 314, 249, 295. You know what I'm saying? 499. The median home price in this area, I think, is like 200 or something. You know, see what I mean? Now, you would never see this in California. I mean, I can't think of any property that's that low at all. Even, you know, 250 would be hard to come by in LA, the vast majority of LA. But look, you know, this is, I don't know where this is, but here you got a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house for 270 grand, you know. Decent house for 215. But this is a desirable area, and that's, I think, right on Neil. Let's see. Yeah, Neil Avenue. So that's, you know, considered, you know, a desirable street. It's a historic. A lot of those homes are historic. What am I trying to say? Is that the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Historic suggests that they're like National Register of Historic Places, but that's not what I mean. They're, you know, original Victorian homes from original Victorian homes. It's called Victorian Village, so and it's in demand now. So this is kind of cool. I love going to these art galleries and just looking at. I don't know art, but it's kind of fun to look at stuff and go, "Oh, that's kind of trippy." But even things like, I don't know if you can see this, the series of different colored circles right there. That's kind of cool. How do these people know each other? They're completely different companies. Hey, it's my cousin. But so to continue that story, part of it too is that I wear my mask more than you have to, you know, or should, or not, maybe not should, but you know, there's nobody jogging on this street, right? So there's really no reason, but I'm just so used to doing it. It's more, honestly, so many people are anti-mask. I kind of go the other way. And it's not, it's just for my own makeup, I guess. Like if I feel like everybody says it's got to be, you know, unless you do it this way, you're stupid. Then in my head, I'm like, okay, I'll be stupid. Like, that's why it doesn't really fit too much in the corporate life, you know. I'm better as an entrepreneur, you know, just because of that, you know, that independence feeling. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But anything that sounds kind of dogmatic, and this is the way it's done, I start thinking of ways that it shouldn't be done. There are other ways to do it, you know, I don't know. And I'm not a big rebel, you know what I mean? It's just a... So this is the pond I was talking about. I should go by there to really show it to you, but the other day I was taking the dog for a walk, and you walk along the edge here. It's right over there, this park. But this guy is in the pond swimming. You know, I've never seen anybody in the pond. It's just a little pond. And he's like, "You probably think I'm on drugs, don't you?" And I'm like, well. But anyway, he's completely naked. He starts climbing on this fountain. This is stone. It's a wet stone. I was like, oh man, he's gonna wipe out and hit his head. I'm gonna see a guy die, you know, right in this little pond. But fortunately, I don't know what came over him, but he changed his mind. I don't know what's down that way. Should we go that way? Let's go down there. I don't think there's anything down there, but we'll change of pace. Yeah, he takes all his clothes off on the side of the pond and jumps in the water, and he's splashing around. And the funny thing was, he was talking to the people on the shore like, "Hey!" And he said to me, I'm with the dog, he says to me, "Come on in, man, jump in the pond, water's fine." And the dog, it's not my dog, the dog is like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And he's pulling on the leash like, "Let's jump in the..." I'm like, "No, we're not jumping in, dude." The dog wanted to do it. Oh my God. Yeah, the mask discussion came up, and somebody goes, "Yeah, Joe wears his mask when he's out walking every morning." And everybody looked at me and were like, "Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?" And you know, I understand. There's nobody around. But it's almost like these people yelling at the Starbucks employees, you know what I mean? Yelling at the guy or girl at the grocery store. You know, you have these 16-year-olds dealing with, 45-year-old mature adults yelling at a 16-year-old about their freedoms. Yeah, you're gonna make a stand. I'm making a stand against a barista at Starbucks. That's the revolution. Are you out of your minds? This guy, you know, 16-year-old kid, you know, I don't know, how old can you be at Starbucks? These young kids just trying to make a buck, you know. And people yelling, screaming at them. "I need to know your name. I'm going to corporate." Oh, woo! You know what I mean? So in a way, I think I wear a mask more than I have to, just to just to kind of clap back at that dumb behavior. So dumb. Why do you know? I'm gonna be dumb because you're dumb. That's right. I mean, come on, man. Are you serious? Is that what Joe Biden says? Come on, man. That's what he's saying. Come on, man. Yeah, so they were making fun of me. But, you know, The idea of the mask is not to protect you, really. Especially, well, whatever. Let's don't go down that rabbit hole. But it's to protect other people. That's what it's right? So, yes, I'm paranoid. I have blood clots. You know, I don't want COVID because I already have blood clots and other situations. You know what I mean? But more, the idea of the mask is to protect them. So let's say that there's a, I mean, where I usually walk, obviously not here, but where I usually walk, there's people walking, older people, younger people, you know, and some of those people are immune compromised. They have immune deficiencies. Some are just older, you know, and the pushback to me was, well, they should just stay home. They're gonna what? They're gonna stay home for 18 months until we get a vaccine? I mean, it seems a little unrealistic to me. So other than yelling at the Starbucks barista, there's really nothing down there, is there? You know, I don't think you should do that. But, and I get it. I get people making fun of me. I can handle it. It's no big deal. And if you don't want to wear a mask, I get that too. I get it. Here's what it is for me. I just think that in World War II, they said, hey man, you know, I'm just making this up because I can't remember the exact details, but they'd say, you know, we need you to save newspapers because we need the paper or whatever. And they would do, people would do it for the war effort, right? This country, in other words, whatever the actual sacrifices were, the country sacrificed for the good of the country, for the good of everybody. And so the idea of the masks is that it's supposed to help. I don't know why we're going through this, we're explaining this. People think it's, anyways, social distancing, wash your hands, and wear a mask. Those are the three. Maybe there's one other one that I can't think of right now. Those are the things. I think I can go down here. Pretty sure I can. Yeah. Oh, I guess we'll find out when they kick me out. So, I guess what gets the burr under my saddle is when people are like, "This is outrageous." Wait a minute. Wash your hands, social distance, and wear a mask. I'm not doing it. And there's so many people are upset about this. I just shake my hand and I said, come on, man, what has happened to this country? Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard? And then they're like, oh, you see people wearing a mask in their car. Oh my God. They had the mask on in their car. So, I got really mad about this. You gotta be kidding me, bro. You gotta be kidding me, bro. You know what I mean? Oh man. It's not like, I mean, if they said, oh, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. But that's not what they said. They said, this is ridiculous. These people are being ridiculous. So are you really mad about that? It's like somebody on Twitter, I can't remember exactly who, bike path closed. I'm not on a bike, right? You know I'm going to get down here. I'm going to have to turn around and go all the way back. These nurses were dancing, right? You know, nurses are wild. If you ever met nurses, known nurses, they're wild. I know. You're like, my cousin's a nurse and she's not wild. No, she's wild, I'm telling you. And so they were doing these dances in the hospital. They made up these dances. You know, a lot of nurses are women. Women, you know, like to dance. They make up dances. Wow, now you're really generalizing. But you know, they're having fun. They're blowing off steam. And this commentator on Twitter, she's like, look at these nurses. You know, aren't these the people that were so overworked from the, I guess I can't go down there, can I? Aren't these the people that were overworked from the, can I go down there? No, I can't. All right. You know, weren't the hospital beds supposed to be filled because of the pandemic, because of the COVID? Weren't they supposed to be overworked, working 14 hours, 16, 20 hours a day? Well, yeah, maybe they were. Maybe they were just blowing off steam. And look, I get the whole idea of fake out. I mean, this is why so many TV commentators and, you know, let's call them entertainers, talking heads that we see on cable all the time. I get it. It's an act, right? And so I think that's the case of this Twitter person too. That, you know, but I had to, I said, are you really, I had to comment. And I very rarely do because of, but first, just something about this particular post. Like, come on, are you really upset about nurses dancing in the hallway? You can't be. You're out of here, you know. So they got me. Look at, like, what is this wall? Like, what is this? This little wall here. It's like a mini wall, right? It's like a fake front in a Western movie or something. So, you know, that's what they want, right? They just want, they want you. And I get it. That's online. You know, that's how you get the clicks. That's how you get the. But really, are you really that mad about these nurses dancing in the hallway of the hospital? Oh, they should have been working. Aren't they supposed to be working 20 hours a day, saving? You know. Hey, they're taking their life into their hands, treating. Yeah, they're taking food orders. No, waiting on. They're taking their life into their hands, treating COVID patients, and you're upset about them. This is what I'm saying. This is what gets the burr under my saddle. Let them dance in the hall. Let them dance on the streets. Who cares? They're putting their life on the line. You don't think it's a risk when they walk into a COVID ward? You know? And then at the beginning, there was no masks. I don't know. Didn't I say I was going to keep this light today? And that didn't work out. But that's why I think that's partly why I wear the mask, is because, you know, just wear a mask. Basically, I'm saying just wear a mask. It's not that big a deal. You'll be all right. You're gonna survive, bro. We won 2 world wars. World wars. Because people sacrificed. And we can't wear a mask. You just put it up over your mouth and your nose. That's it. And you separate 6 feet from, it's like the easiest thing in the world. And you're taking my freedoms. What was the other one? It's all political. They're trying to control. They're trying to control us. Yeah, they're trying to control a worldwide pandemic. I don't know. Am I losing my mind, or am I making any sense for anybody out there? All right. Well, let's see if I can get under control here and read some of these tweets. First thing I said was, we're just going to keep it light today. Friday, just going to keep it light. Next thing I know, I'm ranting about people yelling at Starbucks baristas. Some kind of final stand of their freedoms. All right. Erica says, this is Twitter. Erica says, men who have let the outcome of their fantasy football draft ruin their mood are not allowed to ever call me overdramatic. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, man. Man, guys take that fantasy football serious. Some are so knowledgeable. They know every player. I don't know how you have the time, really, to go that deep. I guess if it's your hobby, then that's your thing, right? But they know everything about every player. It's amazing. All right, let's keep going. Although, I have to say, I did join the Yahoo fantasy football draft years ago, and I won my league. Not knowing what I was doing. And you're saying, well, that was a pretty pitiful league. You're probably right. But I actually won a little mini football helmet. I kept it on my desk at work to show that I was kind of semi-cool, Or like knew something about what was going on in sports, which I didn't, but I won somehow. All right. Let's see what's going on in Twitter. Twitter is such a wild place, man. Let's see. I'm just reading this before I read it to you. Some of it's kind of nasty, some of these tweets. Chelsea says, shaking my ass to the Carolina no goal call. Talking about Stanley Cup playoffs. She's a hockey fan. Let's see. Peter McKinnon, the photographer, says, when I grow up, I want to be Keanu Reeves. All right. Who's a funny guy is Ronald Funches. He says, where's that Tony Hawk demo? Okay. Let me see. Seth Simon says, love to see pictures of maskless comedians with arms around their maskless fans after one of their many socially distanced road shows at clubs, taking all the right precautions. Warms the heart. And it's kind of funny sometimes where, you know, you go into these places and they've got the plexiglass set up and markers on the floor. 6 feet, this is 6 feet. You know, please stand on these markers to make sure you're 6 feet. And then people are just, you know, pack it in there. You know what I mean? They just, the customers lose all that distance somehow. And next thing you know, they're breathing down your back. All right, but I don't know about the comedy. I don't know what's going on. The comedy club scene. I think if you're young, and you know, I think if you're younger, it doesn't register as much as if you're older. The risk, and maybe, you know, and I'm not saying I know what the risk is. I think it's so. It seems like the COVID treats people so differently. But I guess that's part of it for me, is that nobody really knows. Some people have one set of symptoms, other people have a complete different set of symptoms. You know, well, that's good enough for me to like be overly precautious. You know what I mean? We'll go by this pond up here that I was talking about. Just for fun. All right, let's keep going. I'm not even keeping it light. Let's keep it light, bro. Let's hear it. Solomon Giorgio says, let's hear it for the boy is a wild song. Every verse is about how mediocre her boyfriend is. And then out of nowhere, the chorus is like 3 cheers for this loser. That's kind of funny. All right. All right, all right. I think we go this way. All right. Aaron Sullivan says, K-pop stands, we needed to mobilize for the U.S. Postal Service. Oh man, that's funny. Trying to get the fans of K-pop to that is funny. Band together for the post office. That's funny. Tim Dillon says, I'm back with even less facts. Wait a minute, let's see if we can... Oh, I see. Oh. All right, interesting. So Ronald Funches is a comedian, and you might have seen him on, I think it was Undateable. Is that the name of that show? And he appeared recently on the Joe Rogan podcast. And I guess some people were giving him grief about that because they don't like Joe Rogan, some people. So he responded by saying, I'm sorry you don't want me to chat with someone who enjoys my work and had the biggest reach in the world. Because you don't agree with everything he says, but I don't work like that. I do whatever I want. That's a good answer. You know, quit monitoring everybody. Dang, people have so much time to slag on people. Just trying to find, I keep going off my lightness code here on Friday. With Twitter, it's kind of hard to find. Am I missing the pond? I'm kind of missing the pond going this way. All right, we'll loop around. Biden campaign raises $48 million in 48 hours after naming Kamala Harris. I always want to make sure I'm saying it right, but I probably get it wrong every time. As VP choice. So let's talk about it. Is it Kamala or Kamala? Somebody correct me so I don't mess it up, man. Let's see. It's not that hard. I don't know why it's so hard for me. Let me see. This election will be very close, I think. All right, here's Daily Mirror out of the UK. A dad bitten by false widow spider in garden ends up with a horrific wound. What's a false widow spider? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Ashley Nicole Black says, all day, she's thinking, I'm so ready for bed. And then at 11 o'clock, she's wide-eyed. Does that happen? You during the day, I gotta get some sleep. 11 o'clock, I'm on the computer till 1 o'clock in the morning, wide-eyed. It's true. You're correct, Ashley Nicole Black. Let's see. Look at all those dogs over there. That's kind of the mini dog park. I don't know if you can see it down there. It's probably 15 dogs right there. But that's kind of the spot. There's a couple of spots, so that's probably the main one where they kind of gather. I take the dog down there, my brother's dog, but I don't take him off the leash just because it's not my dog. If it was my dog, I probably wouldn't care, because if anything happened, then it's on me. But since it's not my dog, I just don't want something bad to happen. The million to one shot that would happen, I just don't want it to be on my watch. And the dog doesn't seem to mind. You know, he's got an attention span of a fly. All right, here we go. This is today's show. A bison in South Dakota's Custer State Park charged a woman hooking her jeans with its horns until it's not funny, until she was tossed free and escaped. Oh man. Okay, so this is the pond. So I was right here with this dog. And the dog, of course, is sniffing these flowers over here for 10 days. And there's the pond over there. We'll walk by there, get a little closer. But I mean the fountain. I said the pond. That's the fountain. That's what I meant to say. And the guy was swimming right over there. And his clothes were right there. And I didn't know. He's talking to me from the pond. He's like, you probably think I'm on drugs, don't you? And just from having lived in LA for so long, I learned not to engage. Otherwise you'll be, you know, it's just better not to engage a lot of times. Look at these ducks. Just chilling on the rock, man. They turn their head and put their head back onto their body like a pillow. Take a snooze. So he's swimming along here, and I'm walking along here with the dog. And, you know, the dog is always sniffing every single thing. So I kind of am watching him, and I look back, and the skinny dipping guy is trying to climb on this fountain. Look at this fountain. I mean, good luck trying to stand on there. And I thought, man, he's going to slip and conk his head on the blocks. He's just going to slip into the water. Now, it's not deep. Like over there, he was standing up, and the water was probably chest high. So it's not over your head inside there. But does that look like what kind of water you'd want to swim in? No. The answer is no. I guess we could go this way. Am I too crazy thinking that people shouldn't be yelling at Starbucks baristas? All right, let's keep going. Lady got tossed by a bison, basically, was our last story there. Let's see. This is kind of interesting. this is Patagonia, which is an outdoor clothing and sport gear company, mountain climbing gear and that kind of stuff. They wrote an article, "Why Wilderness Matters More Than You." And one of the quotes is, "In a world of nearly 8 billion people, it seems to me that an unconfined type of recreation, whether by wheel or foot or hoof, is something we can no longer so liberally afford. Is something we can no longer so liberally afford." It's amazing how many different types of dogs there are. They're all dogs, right? But there's so many different kinds. Like, how did that develop over the millennia? It's so funny. Little tiny dogs, big dogs, and they all kind of have the same, they love the same things. Sticks. And of course, the breeds are a little different, of different temperaments. And look at that guy running. Look at that guy go. Looks like a French bulldog. Some of these little dogs can really go fast because they've got, they can just generate speed quick because they're short stride. They don't have as much power. But they can zoom, man. They can zoom. It's going to be another nice day. It's funny, here in Ohio, when I got here, the forecast was always rain, which is not that unusual. It's going to rain, it's going to rain, it's going to rain. It hasn't really rained. A little bit, but not as much as it looked, all the forecasts said it was going to. It would always clear up. So I don't know what's going on. It's definitely more humid here than California, for sure. You notice it right away. And then after a while, you kind of get used to it again. All right, guys. I don't think I fulfilled my suggestion that we keep it light. So the next Friday, I'll do better. I got on a rant about masks. Oh. Don't yell at the Starbucks barista. Take that energy, go home, write an email to Starbucks, and put in that email all of your angst about your freedoms being taken away because you had to wear a mask for 10 minutes while you're ordering a Frappuccino. That's my advice. I'll talk to you.